What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast all about Dunwoody, Georgia. I'm Matt Weber. Show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics and our good friends at Discover Dunwoody, which, Adam, I'm sure that you know these folks really well. We're here with Adam Forrand. I knew I was going to mess that up. I even wrote it down before we started, but
that's all right.
From the perimeter chamber, the greater perimeter chamber, now that we've called it. Let's just kind of dive into what the perimeter chamber is, the newly brand, the conversion of Sandy Springs and Dunwoody. Wherever you want to go.
Awesome. Hey, first of all, what's up, Dunwoody?
What's up, Dunwoody?
Hey, thanks for having me, Matt, too. I appreciate it. This unification of two chambers has been in the works, has been talked about, has been considered for well over a dozen years, if you can believe that or not.
Yeah. It makes sense. And I mean, Dunwoody and Sandy Springs butt up to each other in a really important area where all the businesses are.
Yeah.
And so that totally makes sense.
It does. And that is the consistent response that I hear is like, hey, yeah, that makes sense. Right.
Yeah.
But the story is a story of our respective communities and cities as well. Right. This marketplace, this economy known as Central Perimeter or Perimeter Top End has been around and nationally known for years, decades, even before cityhood was a fight, right?
Yeah.
Whether it was for Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, even for Brookhaven, right? This place had an economic magnetism all its own. And that's why we've got such great Fortune 50 global companies in our communities, why we've got the mall as an attraction, right? As a retail magnet that then spurred other growth. And so the fight for cityhood galvanized residents and businesses in these communities to say, hey, we want to make decisions for ourselves. It became incredibly contagious. There was an opportunity there at the state legislature to make this happen. Yeah. And so when you think about business and the economy, perimeter has been where it's at for years and years, for a long time. And so that's why this also makes sense, right? It's like the maturation of our communities, the maturation of our nonprofits and those who serve in the best interest of either their members of the community or both, that the economies and efficiencies and the scale and growth of our two chambers makes sense, certainly for our members, but most importantly for the community at large.
Yeah. And that area is so important, like with the PCID and all these different groups that want to bring Dunwoody and Sandy Springs, that area together.
Well, and even to, I know your conversation with Rosalind Putnam from Leadership Perimeter, right? Growing out of service to one particular community in Leadership Sandy Springs and expanding its service area to ensure that there is a strong pipeline of talent to lead civic engagements and issues and topics for the region. While it can be focused on one particular community, one city, our fortunes are most certainly tied to one another, given the proximity, given the fact that many people, unless you're a resident or perhaps even a visitor, doesn't necessarily know where the lines,
you don't know where the lines are.
Communities are, right? and perhaps maybe you don't need to. What you need to know is that these communities are the leading communities in Metro Atlanta, right? We are a phenomenal place to live, and you know this, and your guests know this, a phenomenal place to work, phenomenal place to play and learn as well, right? And so we've got it all. When you look at our communities, and with Dunwoody as the focus of our conversation today, like Dunwoody's got it all. When you talk about live, work, play, and learn, it's there, right? And so that's where having infrastructure around cities and municipalities that provide services, infrastructure around culture. I know I've heard that on your podcast before, right? Like cultural infrastructure. Like these are the things that come with time, but with a dedicated focus and intention of like, how are we going to do that for ourselves? And so our role is definitely in economic and business and commerce concerns. And so that's the role we play at the Chamber for Dunwoody and for the greater perimeter region.
Yeah. And I mean, as members of the community, like we want our businesses to do well because that's where a lot of, our taxes come from. And that's, I don't know. You just want everyone to thrive around us, and it's going to make the community better.
Yeah. That's what, over my shoulder here, like prosperity. That's sort of the shorthand that we use when we talk about the work that we do, that if our members are prosperous, in our service to them directly, then indirectly, non-member businesses benefit from that as well, because the environment becomes much richer, becomes much more vibrant, becomes much more active, and that induces further benefits to the community as well. So there's a cascading effect here that we know that if business growth occurs for our members, it induces and brings indirect benefits to the rest of the community, right? So that's what we're all about.
So members, so let's do a little call to action here, some recruiting. So any business owners that are listening, like, why would they show up to one of your meetings?
Oh my gosh, for lots of different reasons. And so
there are lots of different reasons. That was a pretty broad question.
Yeah, and it can be overwhelming, right? And I say that because the breadth and depth of what a local chamber can provide its business is as unique as the business's needs that they have that are unique for themselves as well, right? And so we talk about our value proposition quite a bit. And I'm very confident that a small business owner, a solopreneur, a single employee organization may find significant benefit. And if it's a return on that investment for membership, Lord knows we've got member-only discounts and benefit programs that allow a small business to scale and grow when pooled with the resources of other members. And so I'll use healthcare as an example. We are part of a chamber federation that the Georgia Chamber provides our members benefits as well, that can pool healthcare benefits at a larger scale so that the smaller local member may benefit from that larger pool. So discounts on healthcare. And I always bring that one up as first, because if you're looking for a clear, direct ROI on your investment and the savings perhaps you could benefit from just by qualifying as a chamber member, verified chamber member, like that alone may take care of that investment, right? And ensure a positive ROI. But if you talk about access and influence and resources and advocacy and a network of like-minded members who have expertise that can help you in your business, with the expectation that also you can help other members, like that's really where the rub is. And so while our playbook has been for centuries about convening and catalyzing these profitable relationships in person, we're also doing so online increasingly. So our opportunities to deliver value, not just in community, with each other in real life, face to face, but also deliver that value digitally as well.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. Well, what does a typical meeting look like? I know you guys did like the State of the City. Let's talk about the State of the City.
Yeah, so State of the City is coming up soon. So if you're listening to this is March 14th. It's Pi Day. Next Tuesday on the 18th, we are working with the city of Dunwoody to host and produce the return of the State of the City with Mayor Lynn Deutsch.
It's been a while, right?
It has been a while. The city was the primary producer pre-pandemic. We are absolutely honored to have the privilege to work with them to be able to produce this event in Dunwoody at the Marriott Perimeter Center next Tuesday morning. And she's going to speak about all of the efforts and the payoffs and the plans for how Dunwoody will continue to be a pro-business community. And so while her focus will be on business and commerce and growth in that area, the way this happens is not in isolation or in a vacuum. It's when we produce a great environment from which we are enabling and equipping students to have the right skills for the future, that then they know that there are jobs in our community and there's a high quality of life. So while we can narrow our focus, we also have to know, and the mayor will attest to this, that the quality of life initiatives that the chamber and the city are taking on are vitally important to that as well. And so what you will hear is that business recruitment is alive and well, and you'll hear about the new businesses that have made strategic investments in deciding to relocate from other areas of the metro into Dunwoody and the reasons for that. You'll hear about how we are keeping businesses and expanding them, growing them in place as well. Shout out to Michael Starling and Fernanda Kirshner on the economic development team at the city of Dunwoody as strategic partners for us in helping to do both recruitment and retention efforts so that we don't lose growing businesses to other parts of the metro area as well. And so we work hand in hand with the city, and we're next Tuesday will be a celebration of that, about what we've and what the city has accomplished, and then what's to come.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did you know that Discover Dunwoody plays a vital role in supporting our local businesses? By attracting visitors, they help generate revenue for shops, restaurants, and hotels in the area. Their efforts in marketing Dunwoody is not only benefits the tourists, but it also creates jobs and boosts our local economy. So if you're passionate about supporting local, which I know you are, be sure to follow Discover Dunwoody on social media for updates on featured businesses and events. And if you know anybody planning a visit, send them to discoverdunwoody.com/What's Up Dunwoody to find great hotel options. So by booking through that link, you'll be supporting this show and you'll be contributing to the growth of our community. So let's champion our local businesses together. Yeah, and I love that Lynn is at every grand opening, and
Yes.
and Michael Starling's at a lot of them too. They really support the local businesses, which I'm sure she's got plenty of things to do instead of opening a nail salon or helping someone open a nail salon. But that's wonderful. I think that's so great.
But our businesses are the fabric of our community, right?
Yep.
And particularly, we've had a recent celebration of an opening of the Judy and Grace Boutique in the shops of Dunwoody, right? And the mayor said it best at that one, right? It's like, it's even better when a business opens in Dunwoody. That's great, but when it's opened by a Dunwoody resident, how spectacular is that in terms of that exponential impact of living and working in this community, right? And adding to.
I feel like we've got a lot of that. Growth.
We do.
We got a lot of local business owners.
We do. As I think that's the Dunwoody way, right? Is that you could put your boutique anywhere in the metro, but when there's an opportunity here, why would you go anywhere else, right? Why? Everything's here.
Yeah, absolutely. So what a typical meeting besides the state of the city, like what do you guys talk about? You have speakers come in? Is it
we do.
People that are part of the group already that are speaking? Or are you bringing in outside speakers? A little bit of both?
All of the above. So a typical Greater Perimeter Chamber experience is one where you feel immediately warmed and welcomed into the community, particularly if it's your first time. We'll give you a quick orientation to who's in the room. There's always networking at our events, always. Yeah. So we always provide time and space for people to make authentic in-person connections, particularly for people that are new to the room. You'll find that there are regulars, our members who show up consistently, which creates a level of comfort for those who perhaps come for their second visit or their third visit to know, I know people in this room.
Yeah, see the same people.
Which then makes it easier for you to identify who the new people are. Right? So when you show up consistently, we provide that opportunity. Then there is always a formal portion of the event. For our networking events, it's highly structured, highly formatted, intentional ways in which we make connections beyond the ones that you may have made during open networking opportunities. Or there is a speaker, and that speaker has a particular expertise that we believe is of value to our members. Sometimes, a lot of times, they are other chamber members who we've asked to tap into their particular success and their expertise to be able to share that with other members. Yeah. Or we bring those who we know have an impact on our ability to be a pro-business environment. And so in April, we'll have Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, the constitutional officer from the state of Georgia, who is responsible for business in our community in terms of how things get done to create these pro-business environments as well. And so, wow, what happened there?
I don't know
see that?
What just happened. You must have said something.
Fireworks. That was crazy.
Rathesburgers. That's the word that sparks off. That was very strange. If you're listening, there was just a bunch of fireworks all of a sudden.
In the background. That was amazing.
Yes, so whatever.
So yeah.
We'll
we're bringing leaders, elected, appointed, those who are leaders in our community, leaders in our chamber, to come and share with our members and non-members alike. We're open to non-members certainly at all of our events as well. Here's what you need to know, where things are going. Here are trends. Here are challenges, and here's how we're responding to those challenges as well. So we live in a time of VUCA. Are you familiar with VUCA? Have you heard that acronym?
Tell me about VUCA.
VUCA. Volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous times, right?
Yeah.
And so how we deal with VUCA is really important. How we respond to that ensures how we continue to either sustain ourselves or grow, right? And so that's sort of our charge, is to help our members in the business community understand that in these times, where are your resources? Where are your experts? Where are the leaders, elected and otherwise, that can help you with your business?
Yeah. And you're kind of all going through the same things, like half the people in the room are probably thinking, yeah, that's,
Yeah,
we need help with that. We need help with social media and stuff like that. And,
right.
when you bring somebody in that's an expert on that thing, that's great. Educate
Yeah,
everybody.
absolutely.
Nice,
Absolutely.
nice. So how did you get involved in this?
Oh, great question, Matt. Most of my life was spent in sales and marketing, particularly focused in post-secondary higher education. I've
Mhm.
worked as a recruiter for my alma mater, Stetson University here, that parlayed into a career in content and curriculum development for colleges and universities, both print and digital, that then parlayed into a creative career, working on brand development and campaign and sales opportunities for admissions, where I started, for fundraising and development for alumni associations. Eventually brought me into an opportunity at the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce in partnership with Gwinnett, the Economic Development Initiative, to bridge the gap between education and industry, business and industry.
Yeah.
And that opportunity opened up this world, which is one of business advocacy, and it's married all of the things that I know that I am highly capable of, and the things that I'm passionate about in terms of impact and leadership and community. And I found a wonderful environment in which I could grow, both personally and professionally. So
That's
7 years at the Gwinnett Chamber, 2.5 years at the Sandy Springs, now Greater Perimeter Chamber, and I can't think of a better environment, a better place, better colleagues. A big shout out to my Dunwoody teammates here, Paula Shiver and Penny Foreman, and Kathy Dunman as well, who have taught me a lot about what it means to be a Dunwoodian as well.
Yeah, they're all awesome. And Penny is one of me and her are the co-chairs of the parade. And so I've worked
Yes,
very closely with her, and she loves her new job. She thinks that you guys are doing an amazing job. And I feel like she's doing an amazing job too,
she
because
is.
I'm
She
seeing a lot
is.
more of your events and coverage and that
Yes.
kind of stuff. So good for her.
Great, great. Yeah, absolutely.
And
Verified.
Paula's been doing this for a while. And
You know
I
what?
think she was
Yeah.
kind of the one that held it together for years and
Hmm.
years. So shout out to Paula as well.
Yeah, her persistence in making sure that the Dunwoody Perimeter Chamber continued in service to its members and to the community, and
Yeah.
then being able to work with her in this unification effort to bring our two chambers together. Like, Paula was absolutely the glue in all of that.
Well, I'm sure that the pandemic is tough for gatherings, like most of
It
what you
sure
guys
was.
do is get togethers and networking and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And there
yeah.
wasn't a whole lot of that at that point.
No, there was not. There was not.
So she props to her for holding everything together to where it is now, which seems like it's just blowing up.
It is.
And so Gwinnett, I grew up in Gwinnett, and Gwinnett was
Yes.
probably great grounds for you to learn as much as possible,
Oh my.
because
Yeah.
it's such a giant county and there's just so much going on, and it happens so fast. Like from the time I graduated, around 2000, I graduated in 98. And from then until now, it's just a completely different area. And it's packed with people.
It is. I am so grateful for the time I spent at the Gwinnett Chamber, and Nick Messino, the guy who brought me on board, who's the president and CEO there. Working with 17 different municipalities and understanding
Yeah.
what makes them unique and different, while exponential growth is occurring in target sectors that make up the fabric of the Gwinnett economy,
Mm-hmm.
and understanding really what it takes to attract and retain and grow in particular sectors.
Yeah. Different
In
languages. There's just it's different. It's different than here, I'm sure.
Well, you know what? It's different, but yet the same, right?
Yeah.
The richness and the diversity of perimeter communities is the same as well.
Is it?
I do think that when you start putting borders and boundaries around, like Gwinnett is going to lead the region in residents, right?
Yeah.
If not already, right? But when you look at central perimeter communities, right, of Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Brookhaven in particular, like those core communities, like, just as rich, statistically just as significant
Yeah.
and powerful as Gwinnett, And that's part of, I think, the identity that we're seeking to ensure that are tied together, is that the city of Dunwoody as a leading perimeter community, like that context is important, is
Yeah.
just as rich, just as vibrant, just as powerful economically as Gwinnett, but it's a smaller community,
A
right?
smaller area.
Yeah. But then when you expand that and start putting lines around top end communities, perimeter communities, like there is power in the perimeter that is just as powerful, just as magnetic as Gwinnett, right? And that's really why I'm so excited to be here, right?
Yeah.
Because it's where we started the show, right? Uh, Perimeter has been a marketplace, an economy that has been nationally known for years and years and years, right? And so we're finding that mojo again, but understanding and recognizing that it's because of cityhood that is allowing us to now maintain that magnetism and that powerful draw for businesses of all sizes.
Yeah. Do you have
Yeah,
representation from like the state farms and like the real big companies too? Like,
we sure do.
yeah,
We sure
the
do.
NCID
Absolutely.
area shows up strong as well.
Indeed. Those signs that you see on top of buildings and significant investments that like State Farm has made in this community
Yeah.
are definitely members. Their membership looks and feels different in terms of how we work with them to advance State Farm. Um, Very different State Farm to a Lauren Sock, as we were
Yeah.
talking about her, right? In terms of small business, and that's where a chamber value proposition is that broad and wide, is we can work with a big company like State Farm and help them activate their membership in a very different way than Lauren's membership, for example,
Right.
right? Because her needs are very different contextually and appropriately for her business as it is for State Farm's. And so
Yeah.
that's the brilliance and the opportunity of our community in Dunwoody. It's like we can have Insight Global, we can have IHG, we can have Hapag Lloyd, we can have Innova Solutions, we can have these big brands that in their sectors or in the consumer marketplace are easily and well recognized. Know that Dunwoody is home for a very specific reason,
Yeah.
just like it is for Lauren and for David Avis and for our business leaders locally, like why they want to be in this community as well.
So how do people join you? How do people find out more and sign up?
Yeah, great question, Matt. I appreciate that. GreaterPerimeterChamber.com has got all the information you could ever want if you're considering joining us and what that value proposition may be for you. It's clearly articulated there. Our events page is there as well. Members and non-members alike can join us, so try us before you join us and
Okay.
see if there is a match. Know that if you've ever participated in a chamber, that if you've been or seen one chamber, you've only been and seen one chamber. Each
Yeah.
of ours is there. There it is again. Look at that.
Maybe it's the word chamber. That's so strange. I've done a lot of these podcasts. I've never had fireworks in the background. So you're just special.
Well, yeah, I guess so, right? Join us, try us, make these authentic connections in the context of Dunwoody's community, right? And you'll see people that you know, or you'll make first and second degree connections like that will become very clear to you, like how well networked and woven we are into the fabric of the community. But also bring your goals and objectives, keep them top of mind of what you would need for
Yeah.
your business, what it means to grow. Share those growth goals with us, and we'll help you assess how we can help you achieve those goals and objectives. So we are a growth-oriented chamber. Bring those goals with you. Know that we can help you activate a path to achieving those goals and objectives.
Yeah.
But
Because everybody does have different goals. You're right. I mean,
they do,
I'm
yeah.
thinking that it would be really cool to show up there and meet all these people and have all these different podcast guests, whereas other people are trying to make money or trying to meet local
Right.
business owners, that kind of thing. So everybody
Yeah.
will be there for a different reason. What is there a certain day of the month, day of the week that you normally do, or is it just kind of scattered all over the place?
The short, phrase for us is morning, noon, or light, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. We've got
That's kind of what I
something
was
going
thinking.
on every week, every month. So
Yeah.
when you are at your best, if you're a morning person, come join us for Business Brews. If you're a
I can do
lunchtime
mornings.
person,
Yeah.
yeah, if you like getting out at lunch to sort of break up the monotony of the day, we've got lots of events at lunch. If you're more of like an after hours, like, hey, I can manage an after hours event, we've got those as well. We've got programs online as well. So know that we are programming consistently throughout the day, in person and online. And it's because that's the reality of today's marketplace and the economy, right? It's like
Yeah.
we all have our preferences. We all
Yep.
have
And
our
online is nice.
spaces and times. And online is great as well. Absolutely. We're beefing that up here in 2025 as well.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations to all your recent success. I know
Thank
you
you,
guys are
Matt.
just blowing up. So thanks for coming on. It's always nice to meet one of Penny's friends. She was the one that introduced us, and wanted to get you on. So she's doing a good job with her job there too.
She's doing an excellent job, and it's showing up. And so, thanks for
Yeah.
having me, Matt. And yeah, look forward to not just seeing you on screen, but also in person too. So
Yeah,
y'all
I'll
come
try to
out.
make it.
Yeah, but hey, to the community, come out, find us at one of our events, and say hello, and I'll give you the what's up Dunwoody when I see you in person.
Nice. Well, good talking to you.
Thanks, Matt.